Hey, Tony here, hanging out at the Amway Grand Plaza. What a beautiful venue. We're at the Imperial Ballroom to celebrate Mary Kay Hoodhood's award from the President of the United States. We're going to get a shot of that in a minute because there's a picture of the President actually hanging her the award, which is so special. Richard App, last year when we first heard about Artprize, WJRW just signed on. We're a news talk station. We didn't really know what our format was going to be per se, and this thing called Artprize presented itself, so we ended up, I think, interviewing more artists than anybody else because that just seemed like the thing to do. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And I believe the first person we interviewed was Richard App from his studio called
Richard App Galeries.
Richard App Gallery. He was the first one, and he told us about this project, which captivated everybody's imagination. It was one of the favorites. I mean, in terms of the fan favorites, and it was called, and still is called, Nessie. That was way cool.
We had a great time. This year it's even unfolding even more. I'm actually working with a good friend of mine doing a mural inside of Kent on the North Wall. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have. That's you guys. I sent Jeff up, producer Jeff, because I've been watching that. It was raining, and they were up on the scaffolding painting that. And I said, we got to go talk to these guys. It's way cool.
Well, Jeff's a buddy of mine out of Chicago, and I got him to come up here, and I'm completely honored. Number one, I went to Kent, so that's
okay. Yeah.
But number two, he and I have been friends, and if you look at the body of work that he's done in Memphis and Chicago and internationally, I mean, his work's amazing. The fact that we're going to have one of these permanent pieces here.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a huge deal, and especially on the street that I went to. I mean, that's a great way to say hello to Grand Rapids.
I walked by the Children's Museum the other day, and one of the prizes last year, one of the winning top 5, top 10, was donated by the guys from Chicago.
Tracy Van Dyke.
And it's so cool.
They're Kendall guys too.
I know, and it was so cool to see it there. Now, Nessie has found a home for the time being over at the John Ball Zoo. Is he going to stay there? What's permanent?
That's her house.
And you winterized her? I mean, is she going to make it?
Yeah. Sometimes you don't hear. Sometimes the press doesn't report everything correctly. Not Tony Gates.
That's okay. But, see, I love that. I love that.
No, the truth of the matter is we built it for. It was going to be a temporary installation, and then when the opportunity presented itself to be a permanent piece, we put a protective coating on it, and she's going to stay there. And I couldn't be more happy. I mean, honestly, I think she looks better there than she did in the river.
I love it. I do. I got to agree with you with the lights. It was amazing. Everybody was blown away because we had no idea. That was the first piece that was in the river, and arguably the best. Now, time left. What are you going to do this year without giving it all away?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Honestly, like I said, I'm working with Jeff's piece, and I've also got 10 other artists. Rather than do something myself this year, especially trying to capture lightning in a lot between 2 years in a row, I wanted to sit back and refocus. And honestly, my mission, honestly, Tony, and I'll tell you this next year, and I'll tell you this 2 years down the road, is every piece that I want to work on is going to be permanent. It's going to stay here in the city, and it's going to be. If you think about 2, 3, 5, 10 years, the layering process that's going to happen, that's going to make our city more vibrant than it already has become in the last 24 to 36 months.
Well, I love that. And in closing, one of the things I loved about Artprize was seeing the art in all the different forms, either on the sidewalk or sides of buildings or everywhere. And then it went away, and we were kind of left with this empty feeling. So that's way cool that you're a part of that. Richard App Gallery in East Town. Is it on Wealthy?
It's on Cherry Street.
Cherry Street. I knew the area. What's the address?
910.
910 Cherry. Go in there and support your local artist. Buy a piece. And look for Richard and his friends at Artprize this year. Not that far away.
Well, real quick, we actually have 10 artists that are showing in my gallery that are all parts of Artprize. And half a dozen are some of the most amazing things you'll ever see.
Well, make sure we have your contacts because we want to interview each and every one of them on 1340 News Talk WJRW.